Alexander Volkanovski delivered a composed and dominant performance to outclass Diego Lopes and retain the UFC Featherweight title at UFC 325 in Sydney. In front of his home crowd, the Australian champion showcased control, experience, and adaptability across 5 rounds, earning a unanimous decision and tying Jose Aldo's all-time record for most featherweight title fight victories. What made this win stand out wasn't just the scorecards, it was the way Volkanovski answered doubts about his future at the highest level. Alexander Volkanovski entered UFC 325 with questions surrounding his longevity, form, and place at the top of the featherweight division. At 37 years old, and coming off a title loss in 2024, some observers wondered whether the Australian's best days were behind him. Against Diego Lopes, Volkanovski provided a clear and measured response. From the opening bell at Kudos Bank Arena in Western Sydney, Volkanovski established control through movement, footwork, and distance management. While Lopes attempted to match him with leg kicks and forward pressure, Volkanovski consistently positioned himself just outside danger, landing sharper and more effective strikes. Across the early rounds, the exchanges were competitive but calculated. Both fighters tested range with kicks, yet it was Volkanovski who found success with well-timed right hands and clean counters. His ability to read Lopes' entries and adjust mid-round demonstrated the championship experience that has defined his career. The crowd energy reflected the moment. Carrying the Australian flag during his walkout, Volkanovski was met with a celebratory atmosphere, while Lopes appeared relaxed and smiling as he entered the octagon. The contrast between Lopes' confidence and Volkanovski's calm focus set the tone for the contest. As the fight progressed, Volkanovski's control became more apparent. He mixed striking with clinch work, disrupting Lopes' rhythm and limiting his offensive opportunities. Judges later reflected that control in their scorecards, awarding the bout 49-46, 49-46, and 50-45 in favor of the champion. The most dramatic moment came in the third round, when Lopes briefly knocked Volkanovski down with a right hook. However, the champion immediately recovered, stood back up, and resumed control without visible panic. The knockdown proved to be a momentary success, rather than a turning point. Following that exchange, Volkanovski adjusted his approach, increasing lateral movement and minimizing prolonged exchanges. Lopes struggled to land meaningful shots consistently, as Volkanovski dictated where and how the fight took place. Entering the final round, Lopes' corner urged him to push forward aggressively, recognizing the deficit on the scorecards. Lopes attempted to increase pressure and threaten with submissions, but Volkanovski defended calmly, neutralizing each attempt while maintaining positional advantage. In the closing minutes, Volkanovski asserted his authority by finishing strong in top position on the ground, engaging the crowd as the final seconds ticked away. The moment symbolized not only control over the fight, but reassurance to fans who had questioned his staying power. The victory marked Volkanovski's 8th win in UFC featherweight title fights, tying him with Jose Aldo for the most in division history. It also represented his 13th overall UFC victory and his 6th successful title defense across 2 championship reigns. Following the fight, Volkanovski addressed the crowd, emphasizing the mindset that has sustained his success. He spoke about adaptability, composure under pressure, and the importance of continuous adjustment, qualities he credited as essential to being a true champion. The win also concluded Volkanovski's rivalry with Diego Lopes, whom he previously defeated in April to claim the vacant featherweight title. Together, the 2 bouts showcased Volkanovski's ability to evolve and respond across different matchups. Although Volkanovski fell short in his attempts to become a 2-division champion against Islam Makhachev in 2023, his featherweight resume remains among the strongest in UFC history. Many analysts already consider his legacy in the division secure, attention now turns to what comes next. Volkanovski indicated that potential challengers include Britain's Lerone Murphy, currently ranked 4th, and Russia's Movsar Evloev, who sits at the top of the contender list. There is speculation that a matchup involving one of them could take place at UFC London on March 21st, though no official confirmation has been made. Volkanovski stated that discussions with the UFC and his team will determine the next step, emphasizing that whoever earns the opportunity deserves the shot. Alexander Volkanovski's performance at UFC 325 wasn't just about defending a title. It was about reaffirming his place at the top of the featherweight division. Against a dangerous and motivated challenger, he relied on experience, adaptability, and composure to deliver a statement win in front of his home crowd. As the division looks ahead to its next chapter, the question now isn't whether Volkanovski still belongs at the top. It's who can realistically challenge him next.